Kate could hardly hold back her tears. She was sitting in the chair of the hospital ward while looking at her sister, Amelia.
Amelia is not really Kate's sister, she is closer as her third cousin. Kate is not so used to the interstasis of kinship that in fact the two don't talk much. Kate lives in the other town, where she had a good education and is also fully married. While Amelia, who was left a bit far from him, lived alone and single. An event in the summer that gave Amelia a lot of bad memories. He was happily enjoying it with his family by the lake, along with some other people who were drinking and enjoying themselves as much as they did. Amelia's husband had an accident there when he was swimming and he suddenly drowned. Far from Amelia and their twin children, Chloe and Zoe, and that's the reason why Amelia doesn't want to get married again. Amelia raised her son alone. Kate and her husband Daniel just visited the funeral of Amelia's husband. Kate also saw Amelia's bad condition and situation in life there, a reason for her to immediately feel pity. It was here that Kate started sending a gift every day. Daniel just let it go, but it doesn't mean that he likes it. According to Daniel, Amelia will definitely ignore the help she is doing, so don't expect her anymore. Kate argued that she was doing it not for Amelia but for the children. If only the situation between him and Amelia can be reversed, he knows that she will help him as he is doing. Daniel didn't do anything at the time, but let go of a reminder that sometimes the person we think should be close to us is actually the one who can't be trusted. It is said that Kate can help him in any way he wants that they can thank. But it is said that at the time when her husband is the one who is in need, it is here that their bad behavior will appear, that there is a high possibility that Kate will not experience help from him as she thought. However, Late still argued that he did not allocate too much help to worry. One day later, Amelia was suddenly called by Kate to invite her to visit him at a place not far from where Kate was staying, who was a bit sullen because she didn't immediately know that he was staying nearby. But when Amelia explained everything, she was very surprised. Amelia said that she was now in the hospital near Kate and was about to take her own life.
Amelia said there were things she wanted to say to her. Amelia didn't say much during the call, instead she just cried a lot.
Kate realized the bad situation Amelia was in. He immediately burst into tears. They both cried until the end of their call, when Kate begged her husband to drive her to the hospital where Amelia was. Kate doesn't want anything bad to happen to her friends, so she fervently prays that Amelia will be given more strength to live. A few moments later at the hospital, Kate sat down next to her half-sister, Amelia. In the few days that they lost communication, Kate could hardly recognize Amelia due to the size of her emaciated body and the collapse of her body.
Only Kate was quiet and listened to her story. Amelia is said to have been suffering from an illness for a long time. She is turning pages with each passing day and time. There were a lot of misdiagnoses that went through, and when the infection spread inside Amelia's body, it was only here that everything became clear to the doctors.
It was here that the hospital where Amelia was last checked thought that they could refer her to the city hospital that is close to Kate, where she has a chance to help. However, it was too late. Amelia was in the last days and hours of her life according to the doctors. Amelia just accepted everything without complaining. The only thing that bothers his mind is his twins Chloe and Sue. They will definitely go to the orphanage and they will be boys by chance. They are kind and both are happy according to Amelia, who still can't stop crying. The day of their entrance to the next month is coming and the two children have already prepared for it. In fact, they also know how to read and write, so Amelia only thought about the bad situation of her termite, and it seems that his heart is about to break. Suddenly, after speaking, Amelia held Kate's hand tightly. "Kate, you have helped us a lot. You are so kind. I wish my two angels could be with you. You and Daniel are both good people and your son is only the same age as my twins. I know you can take care of them. That I can leave them apart from you. Evelyn, my brother's fiancée, wanted to get my 2 children, someone with a personality that I don't like. They have the same personality as my brother who looks like money, so I'm sure that my twins' life will not be good with him. Gently Amelia's statement to Kate. It is said that the doctors at that hospital are good, so they are making sure that the situation will be fine, but Amelia has not been able to respond to anything but crying and leaving her 2 children with Kate. As a result of the emotion, Kate didn't do anything but agreed that evening of that day, Amelia also passed away. Daniel didn't like Kate's acceptance of that responsibility, especially Late was the one who spent all the money spent on Amelia's burial and other things. Kate clearly revealed to her husband the promise she left to Amelia that she would raise her twin children properly. There, for the first time, Daniel yelled at Kate, "You're wondering where you're going to put Amelia's 2 children? We have our own children and we only have 2 rooms in our house. And how can we support the twins with everything? Can you imagine that? The boys will go to school, instead of focusing on our own children, we will only have to spend more," Daniel shouts angrily. Despite the sermon she heard, Kate still stood her ground. His left promise, "We can't just let the twins go. Can you see them? They are pitiful. They are little angels who cannot be destroyed by anyone's hands." Kate's dry response. "Don't make me feel guilty. As far as I know, Amelia has a sister who has her own house. Why don't you give it to me?" The twins. Daniel Hahn, I have known him, but he was not able to visit Amelia at the hospital or pay for the funeral. It's his own brother Daniel would have wanted to answer the reasoning. Kate said to her when the twins Chloe and So suddenly appeared there. The twins immediately hugged Kate and some. A moment later, Chloe Kai Daniel came to hand over an envelope. Daniel just hid it in his jacket and left, knowing that what happened could not be changed, it was destiny. That the 2 children live and be part of their family. The next day everything was fine, the twins would share a room with their new brother, mate. Kate believes that she can handle all the challenges she has placed on her family, but it has also been difficult. As for the children, the loss of their mother, Kate sees in their eyes the sadness they feel, which also caused her to cry. Mateo was a good brother to the twins at first, because he thought the twins were only there for the summer. When did Mateo find out from his mother that they will be together as brothers for the rest of their lives? Daniel is the only one who hesitates in their situation, even more so at the same time they needed children's study. Everything became a reason for Daniel to save a lot due to the lack of their financial allowance. It is said that Daniel would have been able to provide for his family, if not for the sudden arrival of twins in their lives. When the school day came, the children immediately showed up to Daniel and Kate wearing their uniforms. Daniel immediately smiled and praised his son Mateo, but he couldn't be happy anymore. For Chloe and So, Daniel is very upset when he sees the 2 children who served as a burden only to their family, so whenever Daniel feels irritated, he leaves immediately, so as not to explode in anger or to speak unkindly, and to do anything else that is tender. Twins with Daniel, that's not enough for everything to be fine. Daniel doesn't scold them or anything, but you can see in his face the evil in his heart. According to Daniel, everything has been missing, even the love of his wife is now even more lost because of the 2 child that was added to their lives, even though Daniel knew that what happened to them was not the fault of the twins. He still couldn't change his attitude. He didn't really like the twins, but he couldn't do anything but the forced. 3 years later, it was Daniel's birthday. Kate and the 3 you look like are really siblings helped to prepare for Daniel's birthday. They diligently cleaned and arranged the children in their father will be happy. How many hours will pass when Daniel comes home from the day at work? Daniel dug up a lot of trash outside their apartment. Daniel couldn't do anything but get it out, that trash. When he noticed his old jacket in the trash he brought, Daniel immediately took it. That jacket is very confused why his wife decided to throw it away. That jacket is also important to Daniel. Even if he doesn't wear it, later on he has something on it. Something that he immediately took was a letter placed inside a sealed envelope. He can't remember anymore, Daniel, how it ended up on his jacket. But it didn't take long for him to understand the reason. At the same time, Kate has already prepared those who are ready on their beds.
The children have been called. They are waiting for the return by Daniel. While preparing the gifts, Kate and the children waited diligently, but it took Daniel a long time to come home.
Kate was very worried about Daniel. She left the children first and went straight to the courtyard, where Kate reached her husband, who was still crumpling up a piece of paper her hand, and threw it in the trash. Kate caught Daniel crying. Kate took the pair of paper, which turned out to contain a child's letter, something that also brought tears to Kate's eyes. "Dear Daddy Daniel" was written on that paper. "Thank you very much, Daddy Daniel and Mommy Kate, for the welcome to our siblings. I promise that we will remain kind and obedient to you as children. We will be proud of everyone, especially growing up, that we had very good parents. Thank you very much to everyone from Chloe, and so we love you so much." The paper was still wet with tears and apparently written on shaking hands, showing that the children cried when they wrote it. That's the envelope that Chloe gave to Daniel before they moved to his house, that he didn't read at first and just put it in his pocket, his jacket. Daniel almost regretted every time he was distant from the two children who wanted nothing but love from them.
Daniel just hugged his wife. Kate explained that Chloe and so feel the goodness of Daniel's heart even if he doesn't show it completely, and it was still not too late to recover. There they had fun together and shared a meal at the dining table as a family. After that, Daniel couldn't stop himself from immediately hugging the twins and cried, and since then their family reunion has been even happier.